sandwich thrower, dude, that guy is free, dude. Sandwich thrower, his case got tossed, dude. Yeah, no, you're right. If you give them an inch, they do take a mile. They do. If you obey in advance, they don't leave you alone. They just take more. That's how it works. That's how it works, man. They're not going to stop. That's why you got to nip it in the bud, dude. Here he is, dude. Dude, they had a jury trial, dude. Look at this shit. They literally, this is our government, guys. Pam Bondi's DOJ with fucking Janine Pirro, our box wine lady. They went to a jury trial. They went to trial with this case, guys. They took it in front of a jury. Like, they're so dumb, bro. A jury acquitted the DC man who was charged with assault after throwing a sandwich at a federal agent during President Trump's crime crackdown in the Capitol. Isn't that funny? Oh my God, dude. Jury finds DC sandwich guy not guilty of assaulting officers. 𝗙𝗍 Dunn admitted he flung the... Dude, what a line, bro. I mean, think about this, dude. This is the U.S. Guys, this isn't just like some random attorney. This is the United States of America. The United States versus 𝗙𝗍 Dunn. Over what? Because he threw a hoagie. Okay, that's what our Department of Justice, the U.S. versus sandwich guy. 𝗙𝗍 Dunn admitted he flung the hoagie at a federal agent. His attorneys called it a harmless gesture of protest as Trump commandeered D.C. police. Like, bro, like, it's not a sex trafficker. This is not a serial rapist or a serial killer or a human trafficker or the biggest fentanyl dealer in fucking Arlington, Virginia. This is a man who threw a sandwich. And so the United States federal attorneys, the Department of Justice, mounted a jury trial. Dude, we are like the laughing stock of the world, boss. And there he is, dude. Look at that, dude. I love how his shirt is like open down to the middle. Look at these clowns, dude. Look at these guys. A jury on Thursday acquitted a man charged with assault after throwing a sandwich. The defendant, 𝗙𝗍 Dunn, said he was speaking out against what he characterized as fascism and anti-migrant policies from the Trump admin. U.S. Attorney Janine Pirro's office. Dude, this is Janine Pirro's big case, guys. Oh my God, can I just show you? Because I tweeted at her in August. Watch this. This is her back in August.
So President Trump has vowed to make D.C. safe and beautiful again. And as part of his effort to fight crime, he's bringing in our federal law enforcement partners like FBI, ATF, DEA, or Park Police, everybody to help the Metropolitan PD fight crime. And the president's message to the criminals was, if you spit, we hit. Well, we didn't quite do that the other night when an individual went up to one of the federal law enforcement officers and started jumping up and down, screaming at him, berating him, yelling at him. And then he took a Subway sandwich about this big and took it and threw it at the officer. He thought it was funny. Well, he doesn't think it's funny today because we charged him with a felony, assault on a police officer. And we're going to back the police to the hilt. So there. Stick your Subway sandwich somewhere else.
Dude, look at her. I know she's so smug. And look at what I wrote back then. I said, you're a fucking clown to charge someone with a felony for throwing food. This is why law enforcement is such a joke. They don't actually solve the big shit. They just overreact to little shit. Meanwhile, Epstein predators roam free, bro. She lost. This was her big case, guys. This was her big case. 20 boxes of Franzia later, and she lost the case, bro. U.S. Attorney Janine Pirro's office said the 37-year-old Air Force veteran, he was an Air Force veteran, was not on trial for protesting, but for throwing a sandwich at a federal officer at point blank range. Prosecutors sought to indict Dunn on a felony assault count, but a grand jury rejected that charge. Prosecutors downgraded it to a misdemeanor. The trial jury in the U.S. District Court rejected that charge as well, deliberating for 7 hours for over 2 days before returning the non-guilty verdict. It was the highest profile repudiation to date of Pirro's efforts to ratchet up penalties for local offenses. Dude, it's like, it's so hard to take these people serious, right? Like Janine Pirro, like this was her big case, guys. Oh my God, dude. Grand juries have declined to indict several people accused of assaulting federal officers this year. And Dunn said, I'm relieved and I'm looking forward to moving on with my life. He added later, I am so happy that justice prevails in spite of everything happening. Pirro said in a statement that she accepted the jury's verdict. However, law enforcement should never be subjected to assault, no matter how minor. She said, even children know when they are angry, they are not allowed to throw objects at one another. Dude, the prosecution called 2 witnesses, the Customs and Border Protection's agent who was on the receiving end of the sandwich and a Metro Transit detective who saw the incident unfold. Defense attorneys called no witnesses. Oh, dude. Oh, my God, dude. This is amazing. Bro, the straight-laced court proceedings seemed to crack at times as lawyers played video of Dunn bobbing up and down, hurling expletives at a group of officers as a bystander chuckled at the scene and offered running commentary. No, Superman. Jurors also saw video of the sandwich being thrown, the short-lived foot chase that followed Dunn's statements after the arrest. I did it. I threw a sandwich. I did it to draw them away from where they were. I succeeded. The media's factual dispute concerned whether the salami sub had exploded on the CBP agent's uniform. The agent, Gregory Lairmore, testified that he mostly tried to ignore Dunn's late-night tirade outside a Subway restaurant until he felt the impact of the sandwich through his bulletproof vest. Dude, the sandwich kind of exploded all over my uniform, Lairmore said. It smelled of onions and mustard. Defense attorney Sabrina Schroff then displayed a photo of the wrap sandwich on the ground and pressed the agent to clarify whether it had actually exploded. Dude, it didn't unwrap. Dude, if it didn't unwrap, then the case is crap. Oh my God. So this guy even lied. He even lied about the sandwich, bro. Like, her star witness lied on the stand. Dude, if it didn't unwrap, the case is crap. Oh, man. So defense attorney Sabrina Schroff displayed a photo of the wrap sandwich on the ground and pressed the agent to clarify whether it had actually exploded. Lairmore said a piece of the sub seemed to be visible in the photo. I had mustard and condiments on my uniform and an onion hanging from my radio and an onion hanging. Dude, this guy probably just got his own fucking sandwich on his clothing. And he's like, oh, dude, I'm going to file an incident report, bro. Oh, my God. And an onion hanging from my radio antenna. Dude, Jesus. During closing arguments Wednesday, Schroff questioned whether Lairmore felt threatened, noting his coworkers gave him a plush toy sandwich as a gag gift, which he displayed on his office shelf, and an insignia that he affixed on his lunchbox. Dude, he carries a lunchbox showing a likeness of Dunn hoisting a hoagie above the words felony footlong. They're joking about it with each other, and they're joking about it with Agent Lairmore. Why? Because they think it's funny. Judge Carl Nichols instructed the jury that to convict Dunn, they would have to find he acted forcibly and generated a reasonable apprehension of immediate bodily harm. Dude, look at that fucking picture, bro. Oh my God, dude. Dude, homie takes his lunchbox to work, boss. This is just so incredible, dude. This guy with the hoagie. There he is. Look at him, dude. Oh my God, dude. Dunn's attorney said Larimore was very heavily armed with a group of law enforcement officers in addition to wearing a bulletproof vest. If that vest is going to keep you safe from military rifle fire, it is certainly going to keep you safe from a sandwich. In this country, last time I checked, dissent and opposition are not crimes. Prosecutors asked jurors to set aside any opinions they might have about Trump's law enforcement surge and find Dunn guilty. This case is not about someone with strong opinions. It's not about immigration. It's not about First Amendment. It's about someone who crossed the line. Dude, this guy had been in Afghanistan. Dude, this guy was an Air Force vet that they were charging with sandwich throwing. Okay? But of course, he was acquitted. Dude, isn't that crazy? Like, that shit, guys, is funny, bro. Dude, look at her, bro. Dude! What an idiot! What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. You like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.